Hi everyone, my name is Esther Chung. I'm from Academic Advising and Career Center. Today I'm going to be sharing the top 5 strategies for academic success. So here are the 5 study strategies. First, make the information stick. Second, maximize your study time. Third, sharpen your focus. Fourth, stay motivated and get organized. Fifth, get ready for tests. So let's talk about making it stick. How do we learn? For us to understand how that happens, we need to talk about the 3 different memory types. The first one is called the sensory memory, and the information here lasts for a couple of seconds. The second one is called working or short-term memory, and the information here lasts for less than 30 seconds. And the last one is called long-term memory, and it has unlimited capacity, and the information lasts in a permanent way. So as we take in information through our 5 senses, the information enters the sensory memory, and unless you're able to pay specific attention and really be able to focus, the information will be dumped. When you're able to pay attention, the information will pass on to the working memory. And here you have to process the information further, otherwise the information will be dumped as well. So when you're able to think of examples related to concepts, problem solve, or even making connection, you're using study strategies and learning strategies to help you to encode the information and store it in a permanent way. I know a lot of students stop right here, but what I want you to try doing is to retrieval practice. So when you recall the information and explain it, you're demonstrating your learning, and this is really essential and effective for performing well on tests. So what I want you to do is to, as you study and as you read the information, try talking out loud and try testing your understanding. And this is going to really help you to improve your academic performance. There is also a handout that you could download, and it has many different types of memory strategies. So I would encourage you to use them as you study. So another strategy you could use is to ask questions when you're studying. When you're using your lecture note to study, try to use your notes as answers to come up with some questions and practice answering. When you're reading your articles and textbooks, underline the answers and come up with some questions and write them down in the margin area, or write them down on post-it notes and practice answering. By doing that, you're combining multiple memory strategies like associating ideas, recitation, elaboration, thinking of big and little pictures, and self-testing. So let's talk about Bloom's Taxonomy. This is a really great a model which shows you how to enhance your level of thinking, because a lot of your courses, when you have major exams or assignments, your professors are going to expect higher level of thinking, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So there is 6 different levels of thinking. The first level, which is the most basic level, is remembering and recalling facts. So you have to master this in order to be able to understand and comprehend the information. So with each level, you have to master the bottom in order to move up one level by one. And then you would apply, so applying the information to new task or situation, analyze, examining and analyzing parts, evaluating using criteria to judge and critique, and the highest level of thinking is creating, producing new or original work. So if you're engaging the bottom 3, I would say you're engaging more of the shallower level learning, which is really important because some of the test questions will ask, define and recall and apply, right? Those kind of thinking strategies. But you also want to try to engage in more the deeper level learning. And I'm going to show you how to do that on the next slide. So here, in order to practice higher level of thinking, you want to try to create questions and practice. So first level, remembering, recalling facts. You could use a question such as, what is the definition of? Second level is understanding, right? So provide an example for. Third level is applying. Choose the statement that apply. Fourth level is analyzing what could have caused. Fifth level is evaluating predict the outcome of. 6th level is creating. What is your opinion of? So as you could see from remembering all the way to creativity level, you could see that the questions are getting more difficult and deeper. So when you're practicing these kind of questions while you're studying, you're going to be able to deepen your understanding and master your course content a lot better. So download the Bloom's Taxonomy handout and you'll be able to pull some questions from there and apply them as you're studying from your textbook and your lecture notes.